We're live.
And we are live.
All right. What's up, guys? Welcome. Oh, sorry. Did you want
No,
to
it's okay.
do
No,
this?
go ahead. No, you can do it. It's okay. It's your show.
Okay. Welcome to the last live stream
Of Lights On Season 1.
presented by gloving.com.
Oh, yeah, I was going to let you go ahead. Go ahead, do your thing.
Sponsored by our friends over at Glow Hydration Energy.
Yeah.
Today is a
Thanks, Glow.
super huge day. As you can see, we're dressed up in our gear today. I got this TNT jacket on. He has his, what is this?
Oh, that's a PM shirt, bro. Shout out to JJ for letting me rock the PM shirt, just saying.
Disappointed, you weren't loud enough. What kind of shirt is this?
Oh, I'm sorry. You mean a PM shirt?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about? Sorry.
Yeah.
My bad, guys. I'm sorry. Don't suspend me.
We're rocking the gear. You know why? Because we are gonna talk about the finalists.
Which just happened to be PM versus TNT.
PM versus TNT. We had who from your side?
Puppet.
And we had Corduroy from representing TNT.
Yeah, you had our newest, and our newest and one of your OGs. That's what's up.
We did. That's awesome stuff. Awesome stuff.
Awesome
Bam.
stuff.
But yeah, final two, both of them going into the final two were guaranteed at least $500 because second place gets $500 and one of them gets to walk away with $1,500 grand prize. It's awesome stuff. But before we reveal who won, you know, we got to do a little bit of talking.
Oh man, and we all know Skittles and I love to talk, both of us. So
Skittles, I mean, they're both my names.
yeah, you know, I was trying to be
All right.
Glover related.
I know. But before we announce it, let's talk about the journey of both of these Glovers throughout this entire competition. This competition kicked off roughly, I want to say 3 months ago.
Just about?
Yeah, just about. And both of these competitors definitely had, you know, different journeys going into the final round. I mean, you know, we had Puppet, who I would say had a very tough journey.
Oh yeah, there were no easy matches for Puppet, especially his first match against Krusty.
Yeah.
His first match against Krusty was awesome. I mean, right out of the gate, it was just, you know, you had, you know, second place from IGC versus Krusty, one of the most consistent Glovers out of Southern California, still gloving today. I mean, Krusty always puts up fire. I mean, you can't go a week without seeing a Krusty show, and it's never the same. So that, right off the bat, you knew it was going to be a good match. I believe the score for that one was 30 for Puppet and 26 to Krusty. So immediately, first match, Puppet comes in scoring a 30 out of 35, letting people know I'm going all the way.
Well, let me say this too. We've talked about this in multiple episodes. It's actually pretty tough to score in your high 20s in these types of competitions. I'd say if you get a score of 26, 27, which Krusty did, that's still a really good show.
Absolutely. Yeah. I would even go further. If you're scoring over 23,
yeah,
I think 23 is a good thing. If you're scoring over 23, you're doing really well. If you're scoring over 26, over 27, then you're getting into that higher tier and you're really getting into that consistent top level performer status.
So right off the bat, you know, Puppet just made the statement and scored in the 30s, which is actually very rare for this entire
That was loud, sorry.
Entire competition here.
Let's talk about. I was trying to see how Puppet, you know, trying to enact how Puppet just dropped it on the table and said, I'm here, what's good? You know? It's a PM thing.
Let's talk about Corduroy's first matchup. Corduroy's first matchup went against Omega. Score there was 28 for Corduroy versus 24 of Omega. You know, with that being said, like we just mentioned, anything above a 23, 20, whatever, they both threw very solid shows. Of course, you know, Corduroy, I obviously know who he is. Omega going into this competition, I was not
know who Corduroy is.
Very familiar with him, but Omega definitely threw really solid show. Stuck out to me was his musicality during that show. I think you said that was one of your favorite shows.
He was one of the shows that I really enjoyed in the first round was Omega. I'm definitely kind of sad he didn't make it farther, but I mean, there's always next season, right?
There's always next season, and hey,
we'll be talking about season 2 in a minute. So just so you guys know.
In a minute or 10 or something, we'll see. But Corduroy, obviously coming in, scoring a 28, very tough. Right off the bat, also made a statement in that first show. You know, with the Reds and Blues, as you guys know or don't know, Impact's have not had a very big presence in the competition scene at all up until this competition. I think around 9 Impactors joined this competition. So that's the biggest I've ever seen. So it was nice to see that. And Corduroy definitely, showed everyone what was up in that first round, was able to take Omega down and move on into, future rounds. But, speaking of Puppet and Corduroy,
let's talk about their highest scoring shows. I think we should definitely dive into that a little bit.
Well, before that, the minimum they scored throughout the entire competition
was 28 points.
Yeah.
Every single show, every single round from these guys was 28 points or more.
If you guys don't know, go to the gloving.com standings and look at all the scores. There's not many who score 28 or higher.
Yep.
So
you can see the scores and the details right there. Exactly, cut and dry. These guys brought it every single round, and they both definitely deserve to be in the finals.
Absolutely. And now we can talk about, their highest scores, what you think was able to help them score those highest scores, their strengths, all that stuff. Why don't you talk about Puppet and where he scored his highest score and all that good stuff?
So Puppet's highest score is, in my opinion, one of my favorite shows of his for this competition was him against Mega Sloth. Now this match is really cool specifically because up until then, everybody knew Puppet was amazing. Everybody knew Puppet was going to do really good. But Mega Sloth had the momentum. Every single match before his match with Puppet was a slaughter. Like, he just came, well, I take it back, not every match, but he just came in and dominated every match beforehand, saying, this is my tournament. And Puppet said, hey, wait a minute, hi, I got second IGC, let me remind you real quick. Again, shout out to Mega Sloth because I still don't know how he does half the stuff he does. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. I hope he competes in season 2 because I kind of want that matchup. Just saying.
He's calling you out, Sloth.
I didn't say that. I said I kind of want that matchup, but all right, if you say so. Only in actual competition, no pit battles, none of that. Anyway, so I hope Mega Sloth competes in season 2, but Puppet scored a 33 to Mega Sloth's 28. Like, Puppet hardly missed anything on that score. It was, I actually remember specifically having to watch that match 3 times instead of twice to really go, okay, are these scores 100% what I want, what I feel is necessary? Is there anything I missed? Is there anything I took for granted or miscalculated? And it was ridiculous. Both of those shows were absolutely fantastic.
Come on, man, you didn't prepare for
I prepared. These notes are a little unorganized. It's my fault. I'm sorry.
Well, it's your fault for being unorganized.
Yes, it is my fault for being unorganized. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. But anyway, so Puppet's show just came out oozing with musicality, like just dripping with it. I mean, it was fantastic in my opinion. Every move, every finger tut, everything was done with not only intent but with confidence.
I remember that show because during a few episodes ago, that's the one where I mentioned it's been a while where I've seen the show that has me at the edge of my seat.
I remember that.
That has my face moving closer and closer to the screen and engaged the entire time.
I actually remember you telling me about that the day after aside from us talking about it in an episode, you told me about that literally the morning after videos were submitted. You're like, dude, I just watched Puppet's show. And then it was.
So,
but let's talk about Corduroy for a second. Let's talk about his highest scoring match.
Yeah, his highest scoring matchup was against Cloud. I believe that was in the top 16 or top. Yeah,
it was top 16. You're right.
Something like that. He scored a 31 versus Cloud, who scored a 22. In that show, I think that's where Jeff, also known as Corduroy, pulled out the concepts that a lot of people haven't seen from him. A lot of glovers have their signature moves. You kind of expect certain things to happen at the drop, this and that. But he pulled out essentially a new show for that. Very similar to how Puppet pulled a new show out against Mega Sloth. He just pulled something out that you didn't expect to see from him because you didn't know it was even possible, because these guys just glove at such a high standard that, they just do almost what feels impossible a lot of the time, explaining why they're also both very deserving of the final 2 spots of season 1 here in Lights On.
He's right.
But overall, I'm gonna be completely honest with you, he did score very high there, but I do think the journey to the final 2, I do think Corduroy had it easier when I look at the scorecards against his opponents. He definitely I don't want to say he didn't have to work as hard. These guys both work super hard.
He also didn't have to go up against Long.
Yeah, he didn't have to go up against
Let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah.
Shout out to Long for making it to the top 4, all the way from Vietnam. Just got to say, keep at it, man. You're amazing. I hope you inspire a ton of other people from around the world to do the same thing. Just saying, you don't have to be from Southern California to win a competition or to do well. You don't have to be from the United States. You don't even have to be, you know, from one of the major teams. You can still do well and come in as an unknown and wreck face. So
yeah,
do that.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry I took you off topic.
You did, but I forgot where I was going. But you know what? Why don't we just go ahead and review, or let's watch the final videos together. Hey, I'm gonna be honest. I've actually watched both of these videos at least 3 to 4 times each. That's how good they are. It's been a few years since I've repeated watching videos over and over because you know these are freaking good. Yeah, no, I had to score these shows I watched these shows 3 times before I delivered my score, and I've still watched them 2 or 3 times more on top of that. Like these are really good shows. So I don't mind watching them again. It is the finals. Let's watch them both. We'll talk through them, and then you guys are gonna find out the big news. Who won Lights On Season 1? Let's do it. Camera guy, can you pull up Puppets video first, and let's run it. All right, let's see. Oh, you know what I loved about Puppets? He pulled out red and blue glove set. I'm not gonna hear the end of red and blue all the rest of the year. Well, why don't you look at the color of this Lights On banner? You know what, Davis? Red and blue. It's okay. Why don't you look at the color of my colored shirt? I'm trying to watch Puppet kill it right now. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm talking about the logo here. All right, but with Puppet, right away, as always, musicality, but I feel like he brought extra musicality again, as usual this time. Yeah, well, no, and especially what I really like about this is his musicality is he hits that da, 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 and it's not hitting it with a specific move. He hits it with the timing between his moves. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yep. One thing that I did not enjoy about the show, but this is very subjective. Sure. He moves around a lot. Sometimes I want people to stay still so I can appreciate whatever move or combo they're doing in front of my face. And sometimes he does a little shaky thing, which I understand adds dramatic effect for musicality purposes. So, you know, well, so the dramatic handshake, to me, is a very high risk, low reward trick. It looks pretty good when it's done perfectly, but if it's not done absolutely perfect and at the right time, it looks so out of place. Yeah. It's such a drastic difference between getting it right. I mean, luckily he does it right. Like everything is tasteful here, but so many glovers tiptoe around that. They don't realize how close they are to that line. Yeah. No, I agree with you there. I guess my point was he moves around a lot throughout the overall show. He's in one part of the screen in one part, another part in the other part, and constantly moving around to where sometimes I'm just like, oh man, I really wish he would just stay in the center once in a while so I can just appreciate, you know, those complex moves and concepts he does. But again, I'm just being nitpicky here. Overall, and on the same token, there's a lot of glovers that I could think of, you know, back in the day. The first of which that comes to mind is Pro Heavy, who, you know, was always everywhere with his light shows, but it was done in a way that it's like this makes sense. It wouldn't make sense for this to be only in one place. This style of move. There he does that little the little grabbing the glove thing and little almost like feather down a wind kind of deal. And I love the exit too, where he's like, you know, instead of the beginning where he holds the theatrical. He is. That's the perfect word to describe it. He is theatrical. All right, well, let's move on. Let's move on to Corduroy Show. Repping the red and blues. Let's see him. I mean, technically, Papa was repping the red and blues too, so I mean, it's a thing, but you know. Repping the real red and blues. Okay, all right, camera guy, can we get the impact? Can we get Corduroy's video up so that Skittles can stop talking for a second? Not like it's gonna help, but we can try. I'm gonna stop talking because you're a liar. Because you gotta watch this. Hey, what kind of shirt is he wearing there? Oh, it looks like a TNT shirt. It'd be cool if it had a PM on it, but you know. Okay, so I gotta say something. Corduroy's intro, like as far as his choice of when to start with the song, it seemed just a little off. Like he was just like, all right, I'm gonna start gloving now, as opposed to being ready for it. Like it really kind of turned me off to it in the beginning of it. I can see that.
but he picks it up like right here where he starts getting the red and blue stuff. It kind of picks up like, oh. Okay.
Oh, this concept right here. This is a new one, right there. Very subtle. I don't even know what the name. There's no name for it, but
it's like he's inching kind of.
Yeah, he's just doing something that you just haven't really seen in the Impact anymore, which is nice because he didn't use this at any point during the competition. So he really pulled out a lot of new stuff in here. That reminds me of Clockwork.
You know what? I remember him. Yep, I remember Clockwork, and that you're totally right. That does. There's one other thing that Corduroy did where he was. I think it was right here where his blue was a little off.
Yeah, that was a little weird transition
that caught me off guard a little bit, but then I kind of get it. But I don't know.
I feel like he could have somehow gotten to that blue stroke a little bit.
His grid work is nuts, though. I mean, just like the precision and everything that he takes all of his moves with.
Oh yeah, I think that's his strong suit. It is his precision. He's just so snappy.
Well, I know it's his strong suit, but I'm saying it just gets better every time, and it just gets that much more unreal.
Well, once this show is done, I wanted to mention a little something about that, but I'm gonna let Corduroy finish.
Go ahead.
Because
Davis likes to let me finish.
All right.
You guys can't see this right now, but Davis really wants to hit me. He really wants to hit me so bad.
I can't recover from that one.
But you can't hit a teddy bear. You just
look at that cheesy little shit.
I know, with the cheesy, just
What's
like,
up with
I
that,
got it.
What's up with that?
No, I like it. I like when Glovers do stuff like that. I like when Glovers do stuff like that tastefully. Not where it's 30% of their entire show of like, hey, yeah, look at me. Like, I get it, cool.
Pro tips for season 2.
That's not pro tips. Don't listen to me. I'm competing in season 2. I'm trying to give you wrong information.
But yeah, what I was going to say was, now looking at these matchups, what Corduroy did, in my opinion, in the final round is what Puppet did in, I forgot which round it was, but where he had that insane 33-point video.
It was a top 8, I believe.
Yeah, top 8, I think. Something like that. But you guys know what video I'm talking about. Corduroy basically, it just literally felt like he had saved all of this.
It reminded me of the Impact Finals from IGC.
It did.
His show. His show, like, I'm just saying, like, against Tranquil, he had to do the same kind of thing. He had to bust out, like, all these crazy techniques and stuff. And, it was reminiscent of that.
Yeah, so I guess when I compare the two shows, look, Puppet brought the Puppet show. Like, Puppet show with extra theatrics and musicality. But what Corduroy did was he brought what no one thought he could bring, right? I thought honestly, I know him so well. I thought he exhausted his concepts for the past 3 rounds. I saw him pull out some new stuff in the top 64, 32, and then I saw him kind of, reuse some variations of that stuff in the later rounds, and he made it through. But this one, when I watched it, I was like, dude, you came up with this in a week? Like, you literally thought up of these new concepts that I've never seen before in a week. And
pressure does crazy things to people.
And that's a risky move because you can either go for those new things that, you don't have much time to master and execute properly, or you can just do them and hope that the judges are going to be impressed with it. I don't know, right?
I think, this is just my personal opinion. I think there has to be a balance. I think you have to try stuff, but you gotta know that if you try something and it doesn't work, you can't really be mad because you tried something new. If you want to make sure you get all the points 100% on the scorecard and want to play it safe, then do the stuff you're comfortable with. But if you've got the stones to throw the new stuff, then obviously, I guess we'll see in just a second if it worked out for Corduroy or not. But
yeah. In a second, I guess. Do you really mean in a second?
Well, you sound like you kind of want to let them know who won Lights On. You guys want to know who won Lights On?
Do you think Corduroy and Puppet are watching right now?
They're probably biting their nails and just kind of going, you guys need to hurry up and announce who won or I'm flipping a table.
I do have to confess, we have known these scores for pretty much almost 2 days now. And I really so badly wanted to tell.
It was really difficult not to tell Puppet who won. And I'm sure it was difficult for you to tell Corduroy, or not, I'm sorry, difficult for you not to tell Corduroy who won.
Yes. With that said,
the winner of Lights On Season 1 is...
Bing! Corduroy. Bam! Right there. Hey, camera guy, I don't know if you can make money rain right here.
Streamers, effects, woo! Post up, woo!
All that stuff. But yeah, congratulations to Corduroy. That was actually a huge, 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 huge surprise. Because if you guys don't, or if you guys remember in last week's episode, I straight up said Corduroy is an underdog. You look at the scores historically, he did score less than Puppet for most of the rounds, you know. And quite honestly, Puppet had a much, much tougher road to face.
It was really surprising to see that Corduroy took home this win, just in my opinion. And I like both those glovers. I love Corduroy's shows. I love Puppet's shows. You know, they both brought it. They both had some fallacies with their shows, but I was not expecting the outcome that happened. And turns out it was only 1 point.
Corduroy with 30 points. We got Puppet with 29 points. Super close matchup. Came down to the wire, but Corduroy did take it home. Yeah, I mean, that's it. I don't know what else to tell you guys. Corduroy does take home $1,500. Bam. Hey, you're going to take me out to dinner? Just kidding. You don't got to do that.
Corduroy, you have to take him out to dinner. It's obligatory.
Puppet takes home 500. Actually, no, sorry. That's a mistake.
Oh, yeah. Let's let him know.
Puppet takes home $500 for getting second place, but he did win an additional $300 in the community polls. I forgot exactly. I think it was presence, pacing, and storytelling. He won in all those categories based on your guys' votes. So he took down an additional $300 for a total of $800. Hey, that's pretty damn awesome. I could use $800. Could you use $800?
I could totally use $800. That sounds to me like another trip to a festival like Lost Lands, which I just came back from. By the way, if you were at Lost Lands, it was epic.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah.
He'll be at Dream State.
Yeah, he'll be at Dream State. But yeah, anyways, I'm going to start wrapping this up.
Let's do it.
Congratulations one more time to our competitors. With that said, thank you to everyone who has made season 1. Hold on. I know what you're trying to tell me. We're going to talk about season 2. But thank you to everyone who has made season 1 possible. Like I said, the competitors, you guys all got your videos in on time, made our team, our lives very easy every week. Because if you guys were late, honestly, you would just get disqualified. And no one wants to see disqualified glovers. We want to see real epic matchups like we've seen. Number 2, I want to thank the judges. Right here, Ice Cream Teddy.
Thank you.
We got Tangles. We got Vincent Van Flo.
You guys are awesome.
Yeah, without them 3, I mean, this thing just doesn't run. They got their scores in on time. There was healthy debate on the scores. They watched them. It was just all around a really good experience to work with, you know, everyone from different parts of the gloving community to make this happen. I want to thank the camera guy right here. He's here streaming
Hardest working man in gloving right there.
Bam. I thought you said that about me.
Hardest working man in gloving right there. Talking to the camera guy. You're awesome.
You're welcome for season 2 of Lights On coming soon. In a bit, I'll talk about that. But anyways,
He's so mad at me.
Thanks to the camera guy. You know, again, he's always live streaming this stuff, making it look good, making it an enjoyable experience for you guys. You know, I'm sorry. I want to thank the team here. There's a lot of people. I want to thank Dylan Cook, if you guys don't know who he is. He works behind the scenes to make sure the matchups go up smoothly. He answers a lot of your questions within the lounge and all that stuff. So if you see him around, now you know who he is. He's going to be helping a lot in season 2. And, you know, everyone else who has contributed to this, you guys, the community, giving me some great feedback so that we can apply that to season 2. Seems like you guys love what we've done with season 2 so far. So why don't we just get straight into that right now?
Go ahead. Hey, season 2, I'm just another competitor. So I'll see you guys in the brackets.
So season 2, like he said, he's a competitor now, no longer a judge. So let's start off with that. Season 2 judges, we have Vincent Van Flo. Thank you for coming back. He will be judging again. And now we have 2 more additional judges. We have Jest and we have Havoc. So great judging panel once again. Shout out to you guys for helping me out. Gonna want more judges in the future seasons. So if you guys are watching, you guys are interested in judging, keep an eye out for my posts. I do ask for help.
Follow this man.
Follow this man. And
follow him home, follow him down the street, follow him into his house.
You guys don't want to do that. You guys don't want to do that, please.
Follow him on social media.
That's a good one. But yeah, judges there. So excited to have a new panel, but very respectable panel on board. I mean, do you approve of those judges as a competitor?
I absolutely approve of those judges.
Bam, we got Teddy's approval, so that counts. But let's get into the quick details. You guys have 5 days left to enter season 2. So please do not be late because we don't accept late entries. There's no excuses. You've had over a week since the announcement of season 2, so there's plenty of time for you to plan your filming sessions. So if you talk to any competitors in season 1, we are not forgiving at all with late submissions. If you're late, just don't
ask Vex.
Yeah, ask Vex. Don't even bother. If you're late, you're not in. That's the bottom line.
Vex, you better not be late this time. I'm trying to get that match.
He's trying to get Vex, Mega Slot.
I'm coming, bro. I am coming. I have been on the sidelines since 2015. Put me in, coach. I am ready.
Okay, some Mr. Intensity over here. But yeah.
I just want to give light shows, man. That's all. I'm just trying to give some light shows.
Well, is your video in yet? Yeah. Do you know when it's even due?
You don't want me to answer that question.
Why don't you tell them when it's due?
Well, I would have had the video in, but my order...
All right. All right, let me tell you what. I promised us some gloves and batteries because, you know, Mr. Pro...
Hey, I was about to order them, and you said, no, I got you. Okay. So I was like, here's my shipping info. Go ahead here. And then it's now 5 days later, and I still don't have the gloves and batteries.
Okay. All right. Look, man, we're 30 minutes into the stream.
You pressured into, man. You did it. You opened the can of worms.
Let me just wrap
Don't be mad when the Medusa comes out and just...
You guys know the deadline. All right, please don't be late. 5 days to enter season 2. If you want season 2 details, go to gloving.com/lightson. Okay, all the details are there. All the tracks that you can use are there. All the rules that you need are there. All the details around the open bracket and the challenger bracket are there. All the details around the prize money are there.
And if you don't see it on the main page, go to the frequently asked questions. Because if it's not on gloving.com/lightson, just click on the FAQs.
Yes, read it thoroughly. And yeah, looking forward to your guys' entries. Looking forward to having 128 competitors in season 2. And we're going to open it up more and more as we go along into the future seasons. So anyways, I don't want to take any more of your time. Congratulations and thank you once again for everyone who has been part of season 1. It was amazing. It was positive. You guys bared with us. Love you guys. Love you, Teddy.
I love you too, man.
Peace.
See you later.